I think it's important to get the attitude of the character first, and the accent should come later. It was getting the attitude of the Dublin, the Dubliner, which was the main thing. And I find that once you've sorted into that, once you've cracked what that is, then work on the technical aspects after that. So once I got the character down, it kind of happened. And also I had a dialect coach come in as well and help me out, which was brilliant. So yeah, a lot of help on the way as well.
And the second question, did you do it on purpose? That you mean like Fred and Cam, they look so nice and they're like homeless guys, so was it like, did you do it on purpose?
How do you mean? Sorry, that they look so nice?
I think she means that they're just well dressed for homeless guys. For example, we go to university here, and a lot of homeless guys, they just stay down at the library because it's warm there, and they're not as nicely dressed as.
Well, in the case of Fred, it's integral to his character that he's a very proud man, and you know it's central to him that he doesn't really want to admit to anyone, even to himself, that he is homeless. So he struggles hard and works hard to maintain his appearance. And actually very subtly throughout the movie, he even improves his appearance. You know, when he meets Jules and he begins to make a connection with her, and when the character of Cahill has encouraged him to be more active in life, he actually he starts wearing a tie and he starts to improve his appearance. I think Cahill's character goes in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I don't think in the film that either character refers to themselves as homeless. I don't think they admit to it, or so. I also think my character cares a bit about how he looks, so that he thinks about that, you know. But I think that when you see homeless people on the street, something has happened over years to get to that point, and it's quite a recent thing for these characters. And maybe if they didn't meet, they would be that, you know, like you're seeing on the streets now.
And it's a good observation, because one of the points about the film is that there are plenty of people that you meet who may well be homeless, but you do not know are homeless. You know, none of us are very far away from being in this situation, especially in times of economic crisis, and it's one of the reasons we wanted to tell this story.
Okay. Hey, Colin?
Hi. As someone who has lived in Ireland and in Dublin, I loved how you integrated the city into the movie, and I just wanted to ask how important the locations are for performance and for the movie as well.
Yeah, I mean, being in the car park we were there for the first week of filming. Completely redid all the scenes in the car park to begin with. So that was that gave you a feel. We practically did live in that car park, so we were all parked there, and we literally went through the 4 seasons on, you know, but in a really interesting way that worked with the script. So this is getting off the location, but the weather when it was really bad, it was in the sort of harrowing scenes, and when the weather was really good, it was when things were getting great. So the weather was on our side. Dublin was loving us, and but also the two towers that you see in the film are a real landmark. They appear in the background in a lot of shots. In fact, when you're in Dublin, as you may know, you can see them from a lot of different points. So you're never really unsure of where, you know, they are in location, and I think it's hugely important, particularly Dublin being so characteristic.
Yeah, and I think as well, because the character of Fred has returned home to Dublin, which of course is no longer his home. It was very important that, you know, those scenes where actually you're just seeing him walk around the town and be in this city which is no longer his anymore. He came from there a long time ago, he's been away for many, many years, and now he's come back to somewhere which he doesn't really belong in anymore. And it was important that we got to know the city a little bit.
Have you two ever been in a situation a bit similar to the characters in the film? Homeless, at least for one night?
I'm sure I've spent at least one night in my car, but not, you know, for different reasons. No comment.
Okay, no comment. So, I'm quite sure you have, yeah, please. Stefan, is that right? No?
Oh, this question is for Colin. What kind of research did you put into to get the mannerisms for the drug addict? Because that was kind of scary sometimes how like good you were at that. So I just wondered what the research you did for that.
I read a lot. I read as much as I can for anything. So that's first-hand accounts of people who have went through the exact same situation. Relatives of people who have observed people going through those situations. So it's interesting to know what the internal stuff is and then what people are perceiving. So you don't just see the movement, there's a reason for it. Because, you know, you watch things in films and you see people doing great, you know, these reactions and it doesn't have a basis. So it's always important to know where it's come from. So I did a lot of that. Dara and myself went to a drugs rehabilitation centre in Dublin and chatted to some guys there who showed me how to shoot up and how to do everything genuinely, as well as a lot of stories. So it was all based in reality and what is actually happening on the doorstep in Dublin and probably in every city across the world. So opened my eyes.
Can you, one question, can you all understand it properly when he's talking? Because I just, ich habe gerade ein Zeichen gekriegt, dass man das vielleicht etwas lauter machen muss. Okay, sorry. It's just, thanks. Sound technique. Okay, next question please.